All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. We have a small crowd. I don't know how many of you are online because we're obviously down in Cape Town this morning. So I think there are many people down over there, which is great. Good morning to our people streaming from around the country. Let us know where you are. We've got Bridge on the live stream, so you're welcome to ask her questions. For you guys, for my live studio audience, reserve your questions until we're done. It is a fairly short, sharp business presentation. It's about 35 minutes, so we have made it as efficient and as effective as possible. And I hope to give you enough information in the next 35 minutes that you're able to make an informed decision by the end of the presentation. So go speak to the person that's hosting you. I'm sure someone's invited you here. You haven't just stepped off the street into our office. You've been introduced by someone to this business. And you are most welcome to come chat to me. And then after the presentation, we'll give you about 30 minutes, and then we're going to be doing a launch workshop, which I'll touch on a little bit later and tell you what that's all about. All right, so let's begin. We are at our head office here at DuePoint, but we're a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company. We've been in business for almost 70 years in South Africa. We've typically never dealt with consumers and the public like yourselves, but for the first time we are through this division called DuePoint. So I will touch on Constantia a little bit later in the presentation, but DuePoint is fairly new. We were formed in February 2016. Well, that's at least when we opened our doors, when a number of factors came together for the founders of this business. So I'm going to go through these because it'll give you a little bit of context to the relevance of our business, which is fairly important because this is not so much a presentation, it's more a business proposition. Because I am going to be inviting you to partner with us in this business. And so you need to know what the aspirations, what the vision of this business is. I think that's a fairly important starting point. So number one, what we wanted to do with this business, what we wanted to achieve was to be able to create social impact in our country that we operate within. Positive impact in the form of financial impact, because you're not here to just help, you're here to make money, right? And so what we've done is we've created a business very much centered around social entrepreneurship, where we are able to invite members of the public to come partner with us in this business. And so our mandate together becomes, what we need to achieve is to create better and greater channels of distribution for us as a business so that we can have social impact in every corner of the country. And that's what we want to achieve. And so your mandate becomes, your deal in this partnership is to go out and just connect more people to this business. That's all you have to do. It sounds very simple, but that's the reason why you're sitting here today, is because someone connected you to the business. And so that's what we want to do. If you're able to, what we call, create a channel of distribution for yourself, which is a stake in our business, if you're able to create a stake by connecting people successfully to our business, then you get to share in all the benefits of what this business represents. And we are very much a wealth creation business. Like I said, the social impact that we want to have is one of financial impact, and that's the necessity that we serve, because you're here for only one reason, and that reason is money, right? And so it goes without saying that the first benefit is that you get to create additional income for yourself. But the nature of the income that we create here at DuePoint is one of recurring nature. So we create annuity or passive income. I know there are many business opportunities out there that throw that term around, come create passive income, right? There are very few businesses that create true annuity income, and insurance companies are one of those businesses. So I imagine that majority of us are employed. You might even run your own business, and we know that in the majority of businesses, we are very much constrained to activity to create income. Right? My father summed it up beautifully when I was in high school. He said to me one day, and I still remember this, he said to me, get involved in business that pays you while you're sleeping. And I didn't know what he was talking about. At that stage, he was putting money into the stock market, particularly in gold. He's a gold miner. And I thought he was talking about getting involved in becoming a trader, or I don't know what he was talking about. But then I quickly learned with experience through work that the business I was involved in was very much not making me money while I was sleeping. I had to earn every single cent that I earned, right? So I ran an agency for about 15 years before I joined the team here at DuePoint. And I learned that lesson, that when you're constrained by time to create any form of income, well, then you are constrained entirely, right? Here at DuePoint, because we're an insurance business, we have something called a book value. And that asset that we build creates true recurring income. We can close our doors today and we will still create income out of this business for the next couple of years. Because our business is not constrained by activity. This is not a job. We are not paying you a salary. It is not commission-based. It is not sales-based. And so the power of recurring income is a very powerful one. And be discerning about that. Because when you go look at other business opportunities and they say, oh, it's passive income, understand what true passive income is. Right? And so that's a benefit we get to share in this business. We give you the opportunity to go build a team around you that can help you build your channel of distribution here at DuePoint. We call that the power of duplication. You'll see that become very apparent when I show you what a channel of distribution looks like. But you get to share in the benefit of collaborating with other people that you bring into the business, and so your channel can grow much faster than it would on your own efforts. And which means your income can grow a lot faster than we typically used to. And then we've invested a lot of money into technology to make the business very flexible. It becomes very easy, it's simpler, it's faster when we lean into that technology DuePoint has afforded us. We are streaming to the entire country at the moment, right? And that's because of the technology that we have. We've got a DuePoint app that allows you to build your DuePoint channel of distribution anywhere in the country. So from anywhere in the country, at any time of the day, from any room in your house. I even tease. I say you could even be on the toilet and build your channel of distribution, right? We've got very successful wealth engineers who are building channels completely online, right? They don't see other people, and you get to do that. And so that presents a lot of convenience to the business. And then because our business is very much around wealth creation, at the same time, we have to always be cognizant of wealth protection. You can't create wealth and then leave yourself open to risk. So you'll see in our products, as well as some of the services that we have for our DuePoint wealth engineers, is that we look at wealth protection all the time. And so we've got what we call our legal access service, which is available for all wealth engineers, which is a great little service where you get access to a lawyer 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And then we've built the business to be low risk. I cannot create social impact. We can't create a business, an entity, an organization that is a proponent of social impact, but then attach this massive price tag to it, which represents all this risk. Right? And so we've built the business to be very low risk. You have nothing to lose in this business. And so you had liberty to even try DuePoint. Whether you're going to be successful or not, whether you don't know what you're doing at the outset or not, because there's nothing to lose at the end of the day. You should feel no fear considering becoming a DuePoint wealth engineer. And that is very important because that opens up the business to be accessible to the entire country, to every corner of South Africa, knowing that you can get involved in business with a massive upside with very little downside to it. Right? There's no starter kits. There's no registration fees. There's no boxes of product that you're going to be asked to invest in. There's no huge lump sum or money that you have to put down in this business. Right? And so at the same time, we have got no qualifications or experience requirements. And then for me, probably the most important benefit is having the knowledge that you're building something that you own. Who's got ownership in the businesses they work at? Anyone? Right? The majority of us and almost every single employee in South Africa doesn't get to share in the upside in the businesses they work for. What is the upside? It looks like this. When your business does well that month, maybe you get paid more. Does anyone get paid more when their business does well that month? No. Do you get a dividend check every quarter depending on your business's performance? Do you have something to show for the 45 years of work that you put into business when you get to retirement? We don't get any of that, right? We're lucky to keep our jobs in the current economy. But if you have ownership over an asset that you're investing time into, well, now you get to enjoy the upside every single time that business, that asset does well. And so you've got legal tender over your channel of distribution here at DuePoint. It will never retrench you. It will never retire you. It will pay you through your 60s. Through your 70s, through your 80s, through your 90s. And even the day you die, that wealth that you've built over a lifetime doesn't disappear. Because assets don't disappear. You get to seed your asset in your will to your beneficiaries, be it your children, your spouse, your grandchildren, perhaps. You get to build legacy in this lifetime, right? And so I hope that people will see this stark contrast between employment and building something that you own. Because if you go speak to any broker and ask them what they think about retirement plans and retirement investments currently, it is a disaster at the moment, right? You were saying to me, the statistics are getting worse. Your prospects of retirement for every South African is stark and bleak. And so we have to do something. So I don't need to be telling you because you're here on a Saturday morning. I hope you're all willing to do something about it, right? And so I hope that people will see, let me start investing time into something I can build, that I have ownership over, that pays out a recurring income based on an asset that I've built. And then finally, we have absolutely no selling involved here at DuePoint. So how many of you thought you were going to be asked to sell something? You did, right? You got invited to this and you were like, what are we selling there? What are the products? But your mandate excludes selling. Your only job is to go out and connect people to the business opportunity, not to our products, to the opportunity, which is a very attractive commodity in South Africa at the moment, opportunity. We don't hear that word too often, right? But because our products are intangible, we don't have stock and distribution problems either. There's no boxes in the foyer. You're not going to be putting anything in your boot or your garage today. After this presentation, we've got systems that take care of all the stock and distribution automatically. You never have to bat an eyelid over product. But your success is very much dependent on your ability to build this thing called a channel of distribution. And it starts with you. You have to make the decision to become a wealth engineer and a product owner and to go out and speak to people about the business. Your job is not to connect people. It's just to speak to people, to tell them about the opportunity. Right? And so statistically, if you go out and speak to people and tell them about the opportunity, get them to sit down for 35 minutes, there will be people that join this business. There will. Statistically, that is true. Right? And in this little example, we've got 5 people that have joined because of your efforts. And this is where you get to enjoy the power of duplication, because those 5 individuals are going to go out and tell other people. Right? They're adopting the same role as you. But there's always a lazy one. See that lazy one there? Still sitting on the couch today, hoping the economy is going to change. But you've got the 4 others that went out and started helping you build a channel, and so on and so forth. And so you have this power duplication. You have this channel that builds over time, that you own. Every single dot represents a product owner in your channel. And you get paid this monthly income based on the asset that you are responsible for. This will never retrench you. This will never retire you, and it doesn't disappear when you die. You get to build something that you own. So how do we pay our wealth engineers every single month? So on about the 17th, 18th of every single month, we pay all our qualified wealth engineers. It's based on this table. So for every product that you have in your qualified channel, we pay you R27.50. But we pay you more if the product's closer to you in your channel, and then less if the product is further away. So I'm going to explain that to you quickly. Anyone you introduce personally to the business falls on what we call your first point. So any personal introductions go on to your first point, and on your first point you can see you get paid 55 Rand for every product. So this weekend, if you went out and connected 10 people, we would be paying you 550 Rand a month, right? Annuity income, that's 6,000 Rand a year you can generate for yourself in one weekend's work if you go out and connect 10 people. You go out and connect, or those 10 people go out and connect other people, we call that your second point. And on your second point again, you can see according to the table, you earn 55 Rand. And then as the product gets further away from you, that multiplier starts reducing all the way out to the 8th point. So now you've got a fairly big channel. At the 8th point, you're still earning 4% of the 27.50, but we don't limit you at the 8th point. That's why there's a plus sign next to the point 8. Because in theory, you can build your channel as big as you want. There's no limitation to the size of your channel at DuePoint, to the size of the asset, to the size of the stake that you can build for yourself at DuePoint. And therefore, there is no limitation to how much money you can earn at DuePoint. I know, because of necessity, we're all worried about the end of the month. We're coming to that time of the year where there's a lot of confusion, right? You're getting excited because the weather's getting nice, where it's close to Christmas time, you're going to spend time with family, But at the same time, we know that the greatest financial strain that the country takes is in January and February. Right? You go speak to debt collectors. They've even got a word for that time of the year. They call it the debt hangover months, February and March, because the debt collectors start business that time of the year. Right? And so we've got this strange polarity at this time of the year. And so if you can build a channel where I'm saying to you there's no limitation to how much money you can earn, I want you to lift your eyes from the end of this year for the next few months. I want you to look and see what you can possibly do, not in the next few months, but over the long term. If you can build a channel, if you can spend every single month just putting some people into this business, what can you do in 40 years? No one's thought about 40 years' time, right? But I want you to do that. Our business is about lifting your eyes to look at the horizon and go, where can I go with this business in the long term? Because ultimately, wealth is built in the long term. But I know you still want to understand, well, how much money can you make in the short term? So we've got a 5-year projection. This person is fairly moderate. So we follow someone who's able to connect 2 people onto their first point every single month, right? Without fail for the next 60 months. Let's see how much money they earn. At 6 months, they're earning about 2,500 Rand a month. Right? One of our wealth engineers said, you just got to understand this business. Because you're building an asset, it seems to start out slowly, right? The mistake is people get too impatient and then they inactive for a month and then it goes down and they keep riding this little ripple of business. But if you push it hard for 6 months, you will see that acceleration happen, right? You'll get to 2,500 Rand after 6 months, and 6 months later, you'll be close to 10,000 Rand. After 24 months, 2 years in the business, you'll be earning close to 30,000 Rand. After 36 months, 3 years, 50,000 Rand. 48 months into the business, 70,000 Rand, and then 5 years. 60 months into the business, around 85,000 Rand per month. Now, when I look at the thing, I think, oh, I don't know about that. That's a lovely formula. It is. It's a very complex formula put together by actuaries that bring in a lot of data that we have, and it is a fairly realistic formula, something that you can, I guess, pin your hopes to. But I understand that it's only a formula, and so it's very important for us to bring real people up onto stage in this business all the time so that you can see what people are actually doing in the business, right? So yeah, we've got Peter and Rena. They're a couple. Well, Peter was the only one that was active at the beginning of the journey with us. So he joined from day one, and he enjoyed some success in the beginning. And then if you go listen to his testimony, so you can go listen to all these testimonies online, he lost focus. He lost focus, he lost interest, whatever the reason was. And he did nothing for about 2.5 years in the business. We still paid him every single month while he did nothing. Why would we do that? Because we're not a commission or a sales-based business. We're a business that pays you for the asset that you built. And he built an asset at the outset that earned him recurring income every single month, right? Then at the beginning of the year, he became active again. So his income went from about 1,000 Rand a month in January, and it's now jumped 8 times what it was in January. You can see he's put in 33 people on his first point, that number at the bottom. Those 33 have helped him find another 300 people. He didn't find the 300 people. He only got the 33. And his business already spans over 11 points, right? And he can earn on all 11 points. We've got wealth engineers whose businesses are beyond 30 points already in the space of 3 years. Then we've got Philip. So Philip is one of those wealth engineers who's doing everything online. He's been living on a farm just outside of George. He doesn't see many people, and he was looking for a business that he could work remotely from home that had no tangible product. So the business suited him 100%. Right? He started 9 months ago. His channel value is sitting at over 20,000 Rand already. And so you'll see that everybody is different, right? We've got thousands of people joining this business every single month. The system is identical for each one of us. It is identical. And so you're at liberty to decide what you want out of the business. And so you become accountable for your results. Right? That can be scary as well as empowering at the same time. And so I want you to decide today what you want from DuePoint. What can DuePoint do for you? Because it is different for each one of us. right? On top of the returns program, so on top of the money we pay our wealth engineers every single month, we've got our XP rewards program. The rewards program rewards you when your channel size, when your qualified channel size gets to certain milestones. We call them ranks, right? And it starts out small. It starts with 4 products in your qualified channel. And then it starts to get bigger and bigger. And along with that, as you start to rank up in this business, there are mostly cash checks, so like cash bonuses waiting for you. But there's some that aren't cash bonuses. So one of them is at rank 5. We give you a business toolkit valued at 1,200 Rand. This is to make you look professional when you go out. By the way, you can invest in the merchandise from day one. You can get business cards for yourself from day one. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Right? But at rank 5, we'll give you additional merchandise valued at 1,200 Rand. At rank 7, we take this a whole step further, rather extravagantly, because at rank 7, we spent 17,000 Rand on one set of business cards for you. Think about walking around with business cards that cost 17,000 Rand. Right? This is important. So as I mentioned earlier, I come from a background in advertising, and I ran an agency for about 15 years. I understand the value of creating the best first impression possible, right? Because that's what marketing and advertising is all about. There is value in it. That's why businesses do it. That's why businesses will spend 30, 40% of their budgets on marketing and advertising. We are no different. This invitation into partnership is an invitation into business. And you can't conduct business unless you're professional. Why? Because people will not trust you. Marketing and advertising is about building trust with the person that you're trying to convince of a service or a product. Right? And so business cards, these business cards take that a great step further. Because when you sit down with someone who's looked at other business opportunities and will still look at more business opportunities, I promise you, you will be the only person that's come to speak to them who has got 17,000 Rand business cards. And that creates an impression. It sets you above all the other competition, right? And rank 9 does that too. Rank 9, we get to invite you and your family to our International Rank 9 conference. This is something we do every single year. Once you are rank 9 and beyond, you will be invited to our rank 9 conference for the rest of your life. At this stage, you need 1,000 products in your qualified channel. The record is 5 months to get to rank 9. Right? And so the invitations have already gone out. We've been designing the itinerary for all the rank 9s that are joining us in, in exactly 4 weeks. We leave for Mauritius once again with our rank 9s again, right? A lot of them, it's going to be their 4th trip with us. And so I want you to take a look. This is an all expenses paid trip. We pick you up from your house. You don't need to bring a credit card. You don't need to bring cash. You only need to bring yourself, your speedo, your bikini, and your kids. It is a 5-star luxury resort, and we're there for a week. Oh, and we fly business class only. How does that look? Would you like to come every single year for the rest of your life? That is a good feeling. I can only imagine what that feels like to get an invitation, to know that you rank 9. You've got 1,000 products in your qualified channel, so you are earning 20,000 Rand a month thereabouts from DuePoint every single month. And you get to tell your children that you're going to Mauritius every single year. And it's not just a Mauritius trip. It is honestly a trip that typically only millionaires can afford, because the rooms per night are about 20 to 25,000 Rand per night at this resort. The impression that we want to leave you with is that this is where DuePoint wants to take you permanently. Our ambition in this business is to make wealthy individuals. Wealthy individuals. And we've made this business accessible regardless of where you're from, what your education is, what work experience you have. And we're saying to everybody, you can have this. Where this is typically reserved for only people that are very successful in the system, so to speak. 2 ranks later, we spend R250,000 buying you a brand new car, one which we pay in cash. Right? So DuePoint pays it in cash, but we place it in your name. It is your car. There's no T's and C's. There's no conditions to ownership of the car. It is your car. You get to drive that car off our parking lot with some celebration and fanfare, and you get to park that car at home in your garage and go to sleep that night knowing you've got a brand new car with no debit order at the end of the month. So this is a sneak peek into our rewards program, right? The rewards program is not about, well, it is about wealth. But this is not where your wealth is created. Your wealth is created in that monthly recurring income, the size of the channel that you've built. But this is to introduce you into a life where you get to experience what wealth is like. When you're that much closer to becoming completely debt-free, because you've got a brand new car you're not paying for. You're going overseas every year with your family that you're not paying for. You're getting recurring income from a business that pays you every single month. And the program actually goes up to rank 28. So you're only looking at the first third of the program. Rank 28, we've mapped out the next 25 years for wealth engineers in our business. Right? Someone asked me, is there a bigger car in the program? There is a much, I don't want to say bigger, a much faster car in the program. Right? What do you get at rank 28 if you're getting a car at rank 11? I want you to think about that, because I want you to have long-term aspirations in this business. Our ambition is not to see people come in for 1 month or 1 year or 3 years into the business and then leave. I want to see people getting involved in this business and committed to this business over a lifetime, because we're going to be going on holiday together, which is others' kids. Our kids are going to grow up together, and I'm going to see you in your bikini. So we must develop long-term relationships in this business, right? That's what we're honestly trying to foster in this business. I hope you get to see that. Our business is very much built on the products that we've innovated for our wealth engineers as well as for South Africans. And so these are very innovative products. Why? Because we've removed the discrimination from the insurance portion of our products. Insurance companies will price your risk. You get older, the premium goes up. You get sicker, the premium goes up, right? There are a lot of different aspects that we look at. We've removed that because with our products as well as with this business, we want people to have access to everything. And so our products speak to that. Access Wealth is our first product. It is an investment and an insurance product rolled into one. It's going to cost you only 324 Rand a month. 100 Rand gets invested into a tax-free investment fund, which is in your name. You've got full access to that. And the insurance portion is 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident death cover that you get. Anyone over the age of 18 can take out this product. The price does not change depending on your age or your health, right? We're not interested in your health. There's no medical, there's no nurse coming to, there's no medical questions on the claim form. The same with Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is strictly insurance. So this is only insurance. It's going to cost you as little as 249 Rand a month. You get 1 million Rands worth of personal accident death cover with this product. This is one of our most popular products and straightforward product, right? As we're spending so little time on it. Family Wealth is our funeral cover product. You get 20,000 Rands worth of funeral cover, which covers up to 5 family members for 299 Rand a month. You as the principal member also get 10,000 Rand of debt protection. So we will cover up to 10,000 Rand of liability that you have upon your death. You can increase this cover to 30,000 Rand as well as up to 10 family members. You can see there's no excluded pre-existing conditions. There is an age limit to get in this product, and that's 70. But if you join before you're 70, it becomes whole of life. So once you're covered by family wealth, you can live to 120, you will still be covered by this product, right? We call that a whole of life product. And then we have Legal Guard. Legal Guard is legal indemnity. For 249 Rand a month, we cover up to 250,000 Rand of legal expenses per matter. And then you get a host of services, legal services, that we cover for you, even to the point where you will have a lawyer go with you to CCMA cases. They'll help with divorce cases, agreements, all kinds of things with this Legal Guard product. You can add a family member for only 25 Rand a month. And then we have Wealth Points. Wealth Points is a lifestyle product. So it is financial in nature, but it's not a typical financial product. It's a lifestyle product. For 299 Rand a month, you get to enjoy the discounts and the services that we've negotiated with the partners that you see there. So the aim of this product is actually to lower your monthly expenditure. And so we've got a wonderful example of that with Zacchaeus in Bombela late last month. He bought a new car. You can see Eagle Ford, probably one of the biggest and most successful Ford dealerships in the country. They organized him the car that he wanted. They gave him a 40,000 Rand discount on the car, and they drove it to Bombela to deliver it for him at no cost. Right? So that exemplifies the nature of this product. We've got updated training on all the products, so go watch that, especially if you decide to join us in the business, because it'll give you a much greater sense of appreciation for what we've done with these products and how innovative they are and how valuable they become to us. The Achiever Quest is for those people that need money now. You might not have the luxury of waiting for your channel to grow over time. Perhaps you need money now. Perhaps there's greater necessity for you. We can answer that, because if you're able to do good work in a single month, we will reward you on top of the returns and rewards program. So if you're able to connect 10 or more people into the business who pay successfully in the same month, we'll give you an additional 5,000 Rand on top of your return. If you do 20 people, 10,000 Rand. If you do 30 people, we'll give you an additional 15,000 Rand. You can do this every single month. But bear in mind, this is once-off cash. There's not recurring cash, right? So this serves necessity, but it doesn't necessarily build long-term sustainable wealth, right? We do that through the returns program. A little bit of background on DuePoint and Constantia, because for me it's very important that you leave this building and have no skepticism. You might have arrived skeptical, and I've got absolutely no problem with that, right? But how do we get rid of skepticism? Skepticism is based on the premise of, I'm not sure, I don't know. And so we solve that by knowledge, by educating ourselves. And so I want you to know everything there is to know about DuePoint and Constantia. Right? So we know already that Constantia is a registered insurance company. We know that we are 70 years old. There is a 70-year track record that you can go look in this business. We are listed as a public company on the Joburg Stock Exchange under Conduit Capital, and so know that our business, all entities of our business, are publicly audited every single year. Right? Because we're an insurance company, we are regulated by the Financial Services Board, or now called the FSCA. And so you can go to the FSCA website, type in Constantia, you will see all the financial licenses we have. Know that Brendan and myself have personal liability, which means I can go to jail for 5 years if I do something wrong. I'm not hiding on YouTube in Russia telling you to put money into a bank account. I'm here in front of you with personal liability, with a host of regulators ensuring that we do business the way we're supposed to do business. And so I don't want you to be skeptical, because if you're going to join this business and be part of this business, you have to trust the business, because you are now responsible for bringing other people into the business. You can't do that irresponsibly if you're still skeptical, right? So go to our website, go scan the website, go to the Constantia website, go to the Conduit Capital website. Make sure that you are proud of the partnership that you're entering into. Why? Because you can be proud. What is the decision I'm going to ask you to make? I said this is my business proposition. Proposition needs a decision, right? You might be thinking, I'm going to now ask you whether you want to join or not. You're wrong. I'm not going to ask you whether you join. I'm speaking to the people that have already decided they want to be in this business. For those people, I want you to make the intent decision on how you're going to connect people. How are you going to leave this office and connect people this afternoon? How are you going to fit DuePoint into your life on Sunday, in the week? How do you connect people every single day? That is the decision. That is the real decision. That is the decision that has value that you have to make. And so I hope that's already going through your mind. Getting started for yourself is very simple. Register as a wealth engineer. The person hosting you can help you with that. It's about a 5-minute form that you fill out online. Download the DuePoint app onto your smartphone, because that becomes your primary tool in the business. Go watch our training videos. We have got all this knowledge at your disposal so that you can become an expert in this business as well as wealth creation. Our training is not just DuePoint. Our training is about self-development, self-improvement, motivation, helping other people, getting your mindset right to build wealth. If you want your circumstance to change, you have to change. Your circumstance is not magically going to change around you. You have to be open to change. And that is done through the training. You can become an expert in this business in 30 days. Right? So it's not a steep learning curve. And then if you want to start earning money, and I assume you want to start earning money, it starts with 3 people. We don't pay you for 1 or 2. We only start paying you when you have 3 people in your business who are paying successfully. And so that becomes your first goal in this business. When you leave here, you're going to be thinking, how do I get 3 people in as quickly as possible? Because you will only really trust DuePoint when you get an SMS from your bank saying DuePoint's just deposited money into your account. You will not believe in the business until you're being paid. Right? Money talks, doesn't it? So go do that for yourself. Get qualified as quickly as possible with 3 people, and you will start earning money out of this business. A reminder of our Converge conference happening at the beginning of February next year. It is our awards evening that we have every single year called Converge. It is only for rank 4s and above and their special guests, so it's a very exclusive evening. You have got a couple of months to get to rank 4 if you're not rank 4 yet. If you are rank 4 and you still have guests that haven't got their tickets, this is a reminder to get that done as soon as possible, please. And then we have our launch workshop, which I mentioned earlier. We're going to have it straight after the intro presentation, well, with a 30-minute buffer. So the time now is 22. So let's start the launch workshop at 15:15. The launch workshop is really where we have a discussion. Mostly I'm talking, but I tell you how to start earning as quickly as possible. So in other words, I go over some fundamentals of our business as a brand new person. So even if you're a wealth engineer, you haven't been in a launch workshop, come to the launch workshop, because we go over the fundamentals of this business in the aim of getting you qualified as quickly as possible. So you want to get earning as quickly as possible in this business. So it serves that purpose. So come join us, and you're free to ask questions throughout that workshop, right? That's why I say it's a discussion. And so this launch workshop will help you get running very fast. And then with that, a reminder of our social media platforms that we're available on. So connect with us on the platforms. Download the app. It's available for Android and Apple devices. And then the merchandise, which I mentioned earlier, is available online. We can deliver to any postnet in the country. Arm yourself with merchandise. It'll help you be successful. I promise you that. And with that, I thank you for your attention this morning. And I hope Cape Town is having a good morning with Brendan down at the Cape Town Encounter. And thank you for your time online, wherever you may be. You might still be lying in bed with a cup of coffee with your guest lying in bed next to you. You never know what wealth engineers are up to. My wish for all of you is that you find prosperity this year. That is my sincere wish for you, whether you join DuePoint or not. Because our ambition in the business is to create social impact. When I say social impact, it sounds a bit sterile. We're trying to be the solution in this country. And we need your help. We can't do it on our own. And that's what I'm inviting you to come join. Come join a business that is fighting for a solution. Right? And you can be part of that. And you can empower yourself. You can give yourself dignity back in the process. You can take control again over your income. So that is what I wish for you. You find prosperity this year. Don't wait for 2020. Nothing's going to change in 2020. Do it now for yourself. It starts this afternoon when you go tell someone about DuePoint and you fumble over your words and you feel like an idiot. But you do it 7 days in a row, you'll get better at it, and you will start becoming responsible for empowering other people. That is fulfilling, right? That is something I learned in the business. So I thank you for your time. If you're going to join us for the launch workshop, 11:15. I'll come call you if you're still in the building. Thank you.